I see.
Because you are Muslim, so you cannot eat some eat meat or something.
Ah, is it?
Yeah, okay.
Hello, mic test. Hello. So, good afternoon, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our information session today, working in Taiwan and using Cake for job searching. Today we have invited guest speaker. Oh, sorry. Oh. Today we have invited guest speaker, Miss Vanessa Johnson from Cake. She is an associate account executive. And please welcome Miss Vanessa Johnson.
Hi Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa. It's very nice to have you all in here, enjoying lunch as well. So I hope I'm not taking up too much of your time in class. Today I'll be sharing mostly about working in Taiwan as an international talent. So actually, I'm a TKU alumni as well. So probably everything that you've been through, starting from community service, taking calculus class, is probably something that I've been through as well. So I'm just here to share my story and hopefully help everyone here to start your career in Taiwan if that is really what you wanted. So maybe we can start with a quick introduction. Okay, so my name is Vanessa. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia. Is there anyone from Indonesia as well in here? Oh, okay, 1, 2. Okay, maybe just 2. As far as I know, TKU has so many Indonesian students. I happen to be one of them, and I'm a TKU alumni. I majored in international business, the English major. So does anyone happen to have this major as well? Anyone study international business? Oh, there's a lot. Okay, yeah, I really like that major though, but of course I cannot speak Chinese. So everything that I'm going to be sharing today is very international students friendly because I'm not as fluent as native Taiwanese speakers. So hopefully this will relate to your experience if you're also unable to speak Chinese that fluently. Okay, so I work as an account executive at Cake. So if you haven't heard of Cake before, we are a global platform. We started out in Taiwan. So we work with a lot of Taiwan companies to help Taiwanese match jobs. But we're also starting to expand outside of Taiwan into Southeast Asia. So we're expanding to Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, and that's where I come in. So because they're also expanding to Indonesia, they of course need someone who speaks the language, who can connect with the companies there, who can connect with job seekers in Indonesia, and that's why they need international talents like me who can help them out on that. And right now at Cake, we're also helping companies hire international talents and helping international talents in Taiwan build their career here. So of course, if this resonates with you, feel free to check out our platform and maybe you can get your job in Taiwan through Cake. So since I'm a TKU alumni, I thought it'll be really good if I could share my experience starting from going to school here, getting internship, until eventually getting my full-time job here. Okay, so I started my studies at Tamkang at 2021, so that was 4 years ago. So it was during COVID era. So I had to do like 3 weeks of quarantine, so that was not a good time. But I started studying international business here. I think international business is a very diverse major, so I get to meet a lot of friends that are from other countries like Marshall Islands, St. Vincent, Vietnam, and many other countries. And I get to learn, improve my Chinese, improve my business skills, and during my first year, I actually spent most of it studying and exploring Taiwan because as it turns out, I won't have much chance to do that in the future. Maybe I can just jump right straight into my sophomore year. Okay, so in my second year, I was still taking classes, and then I started to do student organization as well. So if you, none of you here have taken any student organizations, from my personal experience, I really recommend you to do so because it will be very much a bonus point when you're looking for internships or when you're applying for full-time jobs because there's not many opportunity to do professional work here in Taiwan. So if you could get the opportunity to do student organization, I definitely encourage you to do so. And this was also the time where I started doing part-time work. So mainly just to get a bit of a side money so I can live better here. Can anyone guess what my part-time job is? Maybe anyone want to try guessing? Yes? Hey, no, I was not an English teacher. I did apply though. I did not get accepted, unfortunately. Anyone else have any guesses? Okay, sure. No, I was also not a door helper. A lot of my classmates at that time, they do waitressing at a restaurant. I also tried that out, but they did not call me back as well. So I do not have talents in working at a restaurant, unfortunately. But I worked at a hotel. I was working as a housekeeping at that time at one of a five-star hotel in Taipei. It's a really good way to make money, but it was very, very, very exhausting. I think I was quite depressed at that time. But during that time, my Chinese improved a lot. So I would say it's one of the experience that forces you to use your Chinese to train your listening skills so that you are able to improve. Because if you just rely on, let's say my classes are taught in English, so I don't have that much opportunity to improve my Chinese. But through this kind of work experience, I definitely think my Chinese improved a lot. And then skip forward to my third year in Tamkang. Oh, it's a bit wonky. Oops. Oh, can you help me to go to the next slide, please? Okay, so during my third year here, that was when I started my internship journey. So I also interned at Cake, and if you ask me where I applied or got that job, it was through Cake as well. So I applied through Cake to Cake. I work as a business operations and marketing intern for the Indonesian market, and I started applying in September, so it was during summer break, and I immediately started working as soon as the semester starts. So if you're looking for internship, and if you ask me what's the best time to look for internships, I would say it was during your third year. Fourth year is also okay, but some companies, they might not prefer to hire seniors because then they would only be able to work for, let's say, a year. So I think during your junior year is probably the best time for you to start looking for internships, because it's really not as easy as it looks to get internships. I know my friends who spent like a couple months just trying to get an interview. So sadly, there's not that many internship opportunities here in Taiwan. So I do recommend you starting as early as possible to try and find internships. So during my internship period, I work a lot with the Indonesian team members. So during this internship, I did not use any Chinese skills at all. So everything mainly done in Indonesian, and when I talk to my Taiwanese boss, it's mainly in English, because Cake is a very, I would say it's a very global environment. So every Taiwanese there, they are all able to speak English. I think it's actually one of the requirements in order to be able to join Cake. So during this work, I work a lot with the Taiwanese companies here. I work a lot with the Indonesian companies in Indonesia as well. And during this time, I think I interned 2.5 days a week. The rest of the time, I was still completing my studies here at TKU. And unexpectedly, that was actually my last year in Tamkang. Yes, because it turns out that I was able to graduate early from TKU. So I was only here for about 3 years. It turns out I took too much credits during my first and second year. So it turned out that I was able to graduate early. So yeah, I think it was a bit sad for me at that point, because I didn't realize that, oh, everything I'd done was about to be the last time. It was the last time I took my finals, the last time I took a PE class with my friends. Yeah, so if you're looking to graduate early from Tamkang, you also can definitely ask me more questions about it, because I feel like there's not much information for you to learn how to graduate early in Tamkang, but it's definitely something you can do. And you have more questions about the requirements or anything, feel free to ask me. So after I discovered that I can graduate early, I immediately told my manager, actually, I'm graduating now, so am I able to convert into a full-time? And thankfully, he gave me the opportunity. So now it's been a year and a half of me currently working full-time at Cake as an account executive for the Indonesian market. And during my 1.5 year here, I've been able to work with a lot of global companies for their recruitment. So I've worked with Uniqlo, with Unilever. I also work a lot with the Taiwan government in their initiatives to help international talents to stay in Taiwan and build their career in Taiwan. So during this year, I've also managed to do 2 business trips to my home country in Indonesia. I've also helped out the Cake 2025 Career Fair earlier this October at I think it was in near Taipei Ilingi at the time. So yeah, so far I'm really enjoying my role here. I wish to stay as long as I can in Taiwan because I really do like it here. And I do want to start building my career here and hopefully help you all to do the same. Okay, so I think that's probably my journey from TKU into the workplace, and maybe the next one is I'm going to start to talking about my personal tips based on my personal experience on how you can secure a job in Taiwan as international talents. So for me, I would say that the challenges that international students face, first one is limited local experience. Because I've talked with a lot of Taiwanese companies about why there's not a lot of opportunities, not only for full-time, but internships for international talents. And they said that, well, mostly they prefer to have interns or employees that know how Taiwan market operates, because of course they're operating in Taiwan. So they want someone who can speak the language, who knows the market, who knows the trend, who knows what's going on here in Taiwan, so that they could do their job better. And the second one is of course language barrier. So there's a lot of companies in Taiwan who's more traditional, who their employees probably cannot speak English all that well. So that's one of the reasons why they feel a bit hesitant to hire international talents. And lastly is let's say most for my international friends, they actually don't know where they can find these kind of opportunities, because maybe if you look at LinkedIn, most of these opportunities are only for native speakers. So I'm going to try and help you solve these challenges. Maybe you can start, the first one is to start early with internships. My personal experience is that it's quite hard to break into the Taiwan job market if you do not have any experience of working here. So I would recommend you start early with internships. Start looking as soon as you can, because internship is actually the best entry point for you to enter the Taiwan job market. Why? Because then you can learn how these Taiwanese employees work. You can see what their culture is like, you can see how they communicate with each other, and you can build their trust. You can build their trust to hire you in the future. Not only this current employee, but others employers in the future. And of course, like me, it's easier to transition into full-time roles once you've entered the company as an intern. Then the company can see your work, they can see what you can do, and then it's easier to convince them to let you to be a full-time worker. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but work permit is actually much easier to get when you are a student compared to when you're graduating. So I think when I was a student, you just have to apply for a work permit, right? And then you paid like 100, 200 NT, I think. So it's very, very easy. But I did not know that once you graduate, it's going to be much harder for you to get that work permit. So let me share this information with you guys as well. Okay, so these are the list of points that you would need to accumulate in order to be able to get a full-time work permit in Taiwan. So there's a lot of categories. So let's say for the first one, education. If you have a doctoral degree, you get 30 points. If you have a master's degree, you have 20 points, bachelor's 10, associates 5. So let's say for me, I have a bachelor's degree in Taiwan, so I already got 10 points. And then it depends on your salary as well. So it depends on your offer letter, what kind of salary you get, and then it will affect how many points you get as well. And then the third point is for work or intern experience. So this is also one of the reasons why I recommend you to get internships, because actually having an internship really helped you into accumulating these points. So as you can see on the second point, so if you have work experience for 1 year and above, including internship experience for 1 year while studying in Taiwan, that qualifies for 10 points. So even having an internship really helps you to get your work permit here in Taiwan. And then the fourth point is mostly about, let's say if you have a specialized skill, I think this is mainly relevant for engineering roles. And then the second one is Chinese language proficiency. So if you're fluent, you get a higher point. If you're intermediate, you get even less points. But this is actually, you can prove this using your Chinese classes in TKU. I think TKU have one of those evening Chinese classes. You can prove this with those grades. Or I think I also took one class in TKU. I think it was, I don't know, learning life in Chinese. I think that also counts as this point. And then if you have foreign language proficiency or overseas background, it also adds up to your point. So if you have 2 foreign languages in addition to Chinese, you get 20 points. So like for me, I can speak Indonesian, I can speak English, so then I get an automatic 20 points. Also, the last one is, this one is mainly depending on the company, so just ignore that part. But also, if you have a scholarship or a good academic performance, it also helps you with your work permit. If you got a government scholarship, that's 20 points. If you got a school scholarship or you got the top 50% with a GPA of 3, it helps with 5 points. So I actually did not know this information when I was a student, so I couldn't really prepare, but I was lucky enough to be able to score enough. So you need at least 70 points out of these whole 200 to get a work permit after graduation. So even if you get an offer, but you do not complete all these 70 points minimum, then the government will not be able to give you a work permit. So this is something that you need to keep in mind as well. Maybe you can still work on it while you still have time. Okay, and then my second tip, so if, like I said before, traditional local companies are harder to get into. So my tip would be to apply to a startup or global companies. Traditional companies, they often require fluency in Mandarin, or they prefer candidates who already understand Taiwan's market. So of course, they would prioritize Taiwanese. But startup and global companies, they tend to be more friendly towards foreigners. Let's say for Cake, it's a startup and it's also a global company, so they're more English friendly. And one of the bonus points is if they're expanding to other countries, then of course they need international talent. So let's say if you're from Vietnam, you can try to find Taiwanese companies who's trying to expand to Vietnam, or the other way around, Vietnam companies who's trying to expand to Taiwan. So is this something that you can keep in mind too when you're looking for companies to apply to? I definitely recommend applying strategically instead of just applying to every other role that you could find. Okay, my third tip is to check where other alumni are working at. This is actually how I got my job. So my 学姐, my upperclassman, I found out that she was interning at Cake. I know that she's Indonesian and I know that she does not speak Chinese. So I know that the company itself is very friendly towards foreigners. It doesn't require Chinese fluency, and that's when I decided to check out Cake and see what kind of roles they have. And then, yeah, that's eventually why I applied to the company. So I do think checking where other international alumni are working at is the most realistic way to know which companies hire international talents, which industries are open. Usually the tech industries are more open to foreigners, and what kind of roles don't require Mandarin fluency. So I think through this event, you already found out that Cake is open for international talents, and roles like mine, account executive or account manager, they don't really require Mandarin fluency. So I definitely recommend you checking out or reaching out to other international alumni to see where they're building their careers in Taiwan. Okay, the fourth tip is to make sure your CV is Taiwan friendly. And what that means is, it means basically making your CV short, so only 1 page is enough. Why I'm telling this is because I was actually hiring for my own intern at the time, and I reviewed CVs from a lot of students from different universities in Taiwan, but I feel like they don't really know how to make their CV. So these are the top mistakes that I find them to make. The first one is they make their CV very, very long. So they include everything in their CV. sometimes even over 2 pages. And trust me, the recruiters, they don't have time to read all that. So I definitely recommend making your CV short. Only 1 page is enough. And if you're applying for a more traditional company, then I definitely recommend not only include the English version, but also the Mandarin version as well, just to make sure nothing gets lost in translation and your skills are better presented to the HR who's reading them. Lastly is relevance. So this is the biggest problem that I often see in CVs. So a lot of people think that let me just include everything into my CV. Let me include my part-time work, my volunteering experience. But honestly, you don't need to include everything. Just the ones that you think are relevant. So let's say if you're applying for a marketing internship, then you probably don't need to include your waitressing part-time job into there. So this is something that you have to keep in mind as well. I would recommend, if you don't have any prior internship experience, you can start with what classes you take, what projects you do. I know TKU has a lot of programs that require their students to do this kind of like group work, project work, where you have to let's say solve a case or come up with a product. That's something that you can put into your CV as well, and it's definitely better than putting experience that are not relevant to the role you're applying for. Okay, next one. This is more of an engagement question. So I'd like to ask you all, which one do you think is better? The first one is a more traditional CV, so it's all words, and the second one is a more creative CV where you can see pictures and designs. So which one do you think is the better one? Maybe anyone want to try answering? Anyone?
I think the creative one.
The creative one. Okay, so actually, the correct answer is none of them. All of them. Both of them have their own strengths and difficulties. So let's say for the traditional CV, it's more commonly known as ATS CV. So the pros is it looks more professional, it's more widely accepted, and it's ATS friendly. So if you don't know already, ATS means applicant tracking system. So companies, they actually receive more than hundreds of CVs per day, and the talent acquisition, the HR, they don't have time to read all the resume. So what they do is they put all these resumes into a technology that screens them, and this traditional CV is more, it's easier for the technology to read because there's no icons, there's no images that could affect with the process. So if you keep it all words like this traditional CV, the technology can screen it better, and you have a higher chances of getting approved into the next stage. But of course, the cons is that it has less personality, so of course it can easily be overlooked because all the CVs look the same. For creative CV, I would say this is more if you're applying to roles that are creative, let's say marketing or graphic design, then this is definitely the way to go. So they have a really great visual impact. It's really good for your personal branding. You can express yourself through your CV, but the cons is that it's not ATS friendly. So I think when I applied to Cake, I actually used the creative CV. But if you ask me again if I would still do that, well, I would actually recommend if you're doubting which one to use, just go to Takeway and use a traditional CV. I definitely think that Taiwan, actually their employers are much more traditional compared to other countries. So I definitely do think that their HRs prefer using a traditional CV instead of a creative CV. Okay, and I think this is my last tip of the day is to do networking. So Taiwan is a relatively small market, so work opportunities, they can come from campus event or career fair. This is usually the best way to get a job, because then of course the companies, they come directly to your campus because they want to hire talents from your campus. And then the second one is from international talent community. So for Indonesians, we usually use line groups. So we have a lot of line groups from different universities, different regions. So maybe for international talents, they use Facebook. a lot, I think. So this is a good way for you to reach out to other people as well and ask if maybe there's internship opportunities, work opportunities in their company. And then lastly, LinkedIn. You can use LinkedIn, well, mainly for stalking, like I said. You can stalk your seniors to see where they're working at. And then for Cake, we actually do a lot of engagement for international talent. So during our career fair, my team actually made an international talent connect. We share this event to international talents in Taiwan who want to build a career, and then we bring speakers, professional speakers, who share about how they actually built their career in Taiwan. I think for our speakers, last time we invited someone, HR as well, and then they shared their insights, what they're actually looking for when they're hiring international students in Taiwan. And we also invited a speaker from Vietnam who's already working in Taiwan for more than 3 years, and she helped to share the insights as well. So if you're looking for these kind of international talent connect events, you can definitely try to see if Cake is hosting an event near. Alright, and then my last segment is how Cake can help you on your job seeking journey in Taiwan. So we actually have a specific website. Maybe you can type this up on your phone. I made the link easier for all of you. So global.cake.me/TakeU25. So we have a specific website aimed to gather all the jobs in Taiwan for foreign talent. So this was actually supposed to be a video, but I think you can see from the screenshot as well. Let's say we have jobs from Alien, we have jobs from Carrefour, and all of these jobs are already manually tagged by the companies. So they actually mark the jobs that they are open to accepting CVs from international talents. So all of the jobs here are curated. These companies are already letting us know which jobs are open for international talent. So you don't have to look for it one by one as well to see which one is open for international talents. Everything here is already open for international talent. So you can definitely check that out whenever you have free time to see if maybe one of those roles resonate with you. And in this same link, we also have a very comprehensive and complete article to help you build your career in Taiwan. So we have a guide on why you should work in Taiwan, what's the path like when you originally graduate, job search period, receive your offer, and we basically guide you throughout the whole process one by one. Because like I said, a lot of you may not know about, let's say, the 70-point system that I just shared with you about. You may not know how to change your ARC from student into job seeking, and then from job seeking into employee. So all of that information is actually already here. So if you need any kind of support, you can just try looking for it here. Okay, we also share some insights about how much you can actually make working in Taiwan. So you can definitely check out this article as well. It's still in the same link. So you can kind of see, let's say, according to your major, what you want to work as, how much you can potentially earn as a fresh graduate working in Taiwan. Okay, and then lastly, throughout this same link, we also have comprehensive guide on how you can make your resume, how you can make a portfolio, and we also have a feature where you can expand your network and get exposed to more opportunities. It's called Cake Meet. So you can connect with other international talents in Taiwan. Maybe you can even connect with the employers as well. So just sharing this essential toolkit to kickstart your career in Taiwan. So hopefully this will be useful for you. And then I think lastly, we also have a line open chat for global talents in Taiwan. So if you're interested, you can scan this QR code and join our open chat. We usually use this open chat to share whenever we're working with specific companies who have job openings that are open for international talents. Whenever we have any career events that might align with your interests, we'll share it in this open chat. So you can definitely join and get the newest updates. Also, like I said, Cake is very committed to helping international talents build their career here. So I definitely like to learn from all of you as well. You can tell us what you need to thrive in Taiwan. You can fill this QR code, and then we'll also give you a free Cake Premium account that's worth around 900 NTD. Okay, so I think this is the end of my session. I'll just keep this QR code here in case any of you still wants to scan it. But I think I've been talking for a while now, so I think we can move on to the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, feel free, raise your hand, and then we can have a little chit chat. Okay, sure. Okay, you first.
Sure. In your second slide, you mentioned about student operation. What exactly is that?
Is it my internship opportunities? Let's see. Do you need me to go back?
No need, just the name. I don't understand what is student operation.
Oh, okay. I think you mean my internship role is business operations. Is it that one?
You said it's better to have student operation and part-time job to.
Oh, okay. Student organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking about how when I was trying to apply for internships, I don't have any prior experiences. So the HR manager actually asked me like what kind of experience you have that could make you a good intern for this role. But since I did not do any previous internship, I told him about my student organization experience. So I was actually just student committee member here for an Indonesian student organization. I was the treasurer, so I just handled their finances. I helped make sure that we are not at loss. I shared this opportunity to him, and he finds that to be a very plus point, especially considering I don't have any other professional work experience. So this is a tip for all of you. So if you do not have any prior internship or work experience, I definitely recommend you guys to try at least being a committee of a student organizer here in TKU, because this is, you might think it's not that big of a deal, but these HR managers, they actually value this experience a lot, especially when you're applying for internships. Yeah, so that's okay. Anyone have any questions? Yes?
How would you describe your studies to what is good and helpful?
Oh, in TKU? I would say it's very helpful, because I think one of the reasons why I applied to TKU is because it says it's one of the top private schools for business, and I'm studying business, and actually my employer was familiar with TKU graduates as well. So at least in my company, there's already a lot of international talents who are from TKU as well. I think there's about 3 other people other than me who's international talents also studied business. Actually, all of us studied business, and we ended up working at Cake. So I would describe my studies at TKU very helpful. I took a class in TKU. I think it's called Human Resource Management, and I think during that class the professor actually gave us a project that we have to execute. We have to build it from scratch, and my HR manager was actually very impressed with that. He said that it's not very often that university students have this kind of experience making projects from scratch and actually having something that you can present. So I think, yeah, my studies in TKU definitely helped me a lot. Yeah. Why did I choose IB? Because it's in English. Because I don't think there's many other business courses in Taiwan that's in English. I also have my cousin actually took business in TKU as well, and he said that actually employers in Taiwan already familiar that international talents, they mainly go to TKU to take business, and that's where they look for to hire. So when they're trying to find foreigners to work in business, management, or marketing field, they're already familiar with TKU. So that's ultimately why, yeah.
What's your plans for
My plans for, oh, that's a very tough question. I think I would say for the next 2 years, I'm planning on still staying in Taiwan to build my career. I don't know yet if I plan on living here forever, but I would say for the next 2 to 3 years, I would stay here, improve my Chinese, because actually back in my home country, Indonesia, a lot of employers also look for people who are able to speak Chinese. So while working here, getting my experiences and all that, I'm actually planning to taking evening Chinese classes next year as well, so that let's say maybe in 2 years I would still want to stay in Taiwan. I can have more work opportunities if I'm able to speak better Chinese, or I can go back to my home country and then earn more because I'm able to speak Chinese as well. That's my plan for now. Anyone have any other questions? Or maybe if you'd like to ask about, let's say, how do I get the internship, how the interview process was like, also feel free to let me know. And maybe if you're shy, because this is like a lot of people, you can just come up to me after this session and then we can have a casual talk together. It's also okay. Okay, then I think maybe that's it for today.
All right, so thank you very much, Ms. Vanessa Johnson, for your presentation today. And please, students, don't be shy to come up to Ms. Vanessa Johnson after this session if you have any more questions. But for now, thank you very much for participating in our event. Please fill this QR code where we have our event satisfaction form before you leave. So thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your lunch. And if you're going back to class, 加油.
When are you going to apply? January?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks after. 2 weeks after.
Long. 2 months?
I'm gonna say probably 2 weeks.
Maybe you can visit, what's the art teacher's name?
She's a teacher who is very gentle and energetic.
Good luck with it.
You're technically not a full-time teacher. You're a teacher.
Design the activities,
Basically, your actual position is teaching assistant. My job is to work well with some of the girls. You also work in school. You have some skill. User experience.